like every quiet talk we grew through. And if tomorrow carries a different name for what we are and what became, I'll remember this delicate phase where friendship softened into praise. So stay a moment longer than planned. Let your fingers rest near my hand. Right here where nothing seems to move is exactly where our hearts improve. No sudden change, no dramatic sign, just your breath falling close to mine. And in that space, so clear and strange, is the place where we quietly change. Looked up only for a second, but something shifted in the air. Not loud enough for anyone, yet suddenly you were there. The cafe noise kept moving on, spoons against porcelain tone. But in that small suspended beat, I didn't feel alone. It wasn't lightning, wasn't flame, no cinematic sign, just a subtle rearranging of your rhythm close to mine. You asked if this seat was taken, your voice low, steady, kind. I nodded with a careful smile, unsure what I might find. We spoke of ordinary things, work and weather, passing days, yet underneath the simple words a softer current sways. I noticed how you listened fully, not waiting just to speak. Your focus felt intentional, unrushed, sincere, unique. There was a warmth in how you laughed, not sharp, not seeking praise. It settled gently in my chest and lingered in quiet ways. I've known attraction quick and bright, the kind that burns too fast, but this was different, grounded, slow, like something built to last. You didn't try to impress the room or turn the light your way. You stayed within your natural frame and let the moment stay. When silence came, it wasn't strained, it rested soft and wide, like we were testing if this space was safe enough inside. I found myself revealing truths I rarely let unfold, not secrets heavy with regret, but stories rarely told. You didn't interrupt the thread or rush to make it light. You let my words exist as they were, unedited, upright. The piano somewhere near the bar played chords in mellow hue. Each note seemed to underline the ease I felt with you. We didn't speak of future plans or label what we felt, yet something honest had begun before our coffee melt. A brush of fingers passing change, a glance held half a beat. The world continued as before, but softer at my feet. I walked outside beside you, the afternoon still young, not holding hands, just side by side with sentences unsung. There's courage in the early stage before declarations rise, when hope is quiet, steady toned, and lives between the eyes. You said you'd like to see me soon, no pressure in the phrase, just open air around the words, no hidden maze. I've learned not every spark must race toward promise or design. Sometimes the beauty lives within the patient, fragile line. So I let the feeling breathe, didn't grip or guard, allowed it room to form itself. without pushing too hard. As we parted at the corner, your smile stayed with me, not as a fantasy to chase, but simple possibility. There's something rare in being met without a need to prove, where presence is enough to hold the smallest shift and move. Maybe this will grow with time or gently fade away, but what began between our words already changed my day. Not with fireworks overhead or dramatic display, but with a steady open warmth that chose to stay.
Laundry basket by the door, sunlight on the tiles, loose change in the pocket from a week of scattered miles. I separate the colors like I've done 100 times. Cotton denim, ordinary fragments of small climbs. The washer starts its turning, low mechanical refrain. Water filling up the drum, soft and unrestrained. There's comfort in the pattern, and cycles set and sure, in knowing that the process will quietly endure. Spin cycle Saturday, nothing grand at stake, just fabric, soap, and gravity, and gentle give and take. No speeches to deliver, no deadlines in my head, just rhythm and repetition and unmade weekend bed. The piano keeps it simple with open, easy chords. Brushes mark a lazy beat like footsteps on the boards. The bass line hums beneath it, warm and steady tone, a grounded reassurance that I'm not alone. I used to call this boring, the slow domestic kind, dreaming of some louder scene to occupy my mind. But now I feel the value in folding what I wear and smoothing out the creases with patient, quiet care. There's something almost meditative in watching water spin, seeing stains release their hold from where they once had been. Proof that even stubborn marks can loosen if you wait. Not everything requires a drastic shift instant. Spin cycle Saturday keeps the week at bay, washing off the rush of it in a steady sway. There's dignity in tending to details small and plain, in building peace from habits that quietly remain. Home, slow down, it's alright to live like this. The buzzer sounds its ending, a soft mechanical cue. I lift the lid and feel the warmth of something made anew. Steam rising lightly upward into open air, the scent of simple cleanliness settling everywhere. I hang the shirts by a window light, let them breathe and dry, watching breeze move gently under open sky. There's no dramatic milestone, no applause to earn, just shirts aligned on hangers waiting for their turn. Spin cycle Saturday teaches me to see the worth inside the ordinary that steadies me. Not every set satisfaction needs a spotlight's ray. Sometimes it's in the turning of a quiet Saturday. You're doing fine right here. By evening they are folded, stacked in tidy rows, ready for another week of errands, work and roads. And I feel strangely centered in this modest ritual, because peace can start so simply in something habitual.
I reached for the same one novel at the corner of the shelf. Your fingers brushed against mine, then paused without a help. Dust hung softly in the sunlight, cutting through the air. The quiet of the little shop wrapped around us there. You smiled like it was nothing, just a simple overlap. But something in the stillness shifted in the gap. The wooden floor beneath our steps carried gentle sound. Every whisper of a page felt steady and profound. I've always loved these hidden rooms where time is stretched and thin, where stories rest in careful stacks and softer thoughts begin. You asked if I had read this one, your voice low, calm and clear, not loud enough to draw a glance, yet somehow drawing near. We spoke of lines that stayed with us, of endings bittersweet, of characters who felt like friends we'd one day hope to meet. There was no rush to impress, no clever words on cue, just honest curiosity moving between me and you. The scent of paper aged and warm felt grounding at my side, like memory without the weight or anything to hide. I noticed how you listened without planning what to say. Your focus wasn't wandering or drifting far away. I've known conversations quick, bright sparks that fade too fast, but this unfolded gradually like something built to last. You held the book a little closer, tracing lines in thought, not performing knowledge or claiming what you'd caught. Outside the world kept moving, cars and hurried feet, but here between the shelves the rhythm felt complete. I didn't feel the need to shine or shape a perfect tone. I spoke the way I truly think, unfiltered, fully known. You laughed at something small I said, not exaggerated or loud, just warm enough to settle in without a need for crowd. We drifted toward the narrow desk where purchases are made, but neither of us seemed to want the moment to fade. You asked if I came here often, I shrugged and said sometimes. The truth was I had searched for spaces where silence gently chimes, not empty, not alone, but spacious in design, where minds can meet in quiet ways without a flashing sign. You wrote your number on the receipt, not bold, not disguised, just steady handwriting, unhurried and precise. No promise wrapped in urgency. No script about what's next, just possibility untangled and unflexed. When I step back into the street with paper bag in hand, the afternoon felt altered in ways I hadn't planned. Not by spectacle or flame, not by dramatic cue, but by a moment softly held between the shelves with you. And as I walk beneath the trees with sunlight in my view, I realize some stories start without announcing they do.
Fluorescent lights too bright for night, buzzing over tile. Plastic chairs in faded blue, lined in single file. Machines spinning steady rows, glass doors catching foam. Coins clink down metallic slots, a rhythm of their own. Detergent in the heavy air, warm and slightly sweet. Dryers rumble, patient circles, low mechanical beat. A television mounted high without a single sound. Subtitles for a drama, no one gathers round. Quarter turns at 2 a.m., clothes tumbling slow. Watching fabric twist and fall in steady undertow. No one asks for conversation, no one needs a name. Just strangers in rotation in this late night frame. The piano rests in mellow chords, soft and evenly spaced. Brushes mark a subtle pulse, unhurried, unchased. The bass line hums beneath it, deep inside the floor, like grounding through vibration behind the dryer's roar. A woman folds in practice lines, precise and square and neat. A man in work boots checks his phone, then rubs his tired feet. Someone studies quietly on a plastic chair, highlighter moving slowly through textbook air. Quarter turns at 2 a.m., keep the thoughts aligned. Watching cycles rinse and spin clears a restless mind. There's something in the waiting, in the low machine refrain, that smooths out sharper worries without calling them by name. Let it turn, let it spin. You don't have to rush. I lean against the counter, sip from paper cup. Let the hum surround me till the day loosens up. Not glamorous, not cinematic, just ordinary light. But ordinary feels different in the middle of the night. The dryers slow their rotation, heat fading into warm. A gentle kind of decrescendo after steady storm. I pull the clothes out carefully, steam against my face. There's comfort in the warmth of it, in freshly folded space. Quarter turns at 2 a.m., not wasting time at all. Sometimes the smallest pauses are the steadiest of calls. No deadlines in this moment, no spotlight overhead, just tumbling through the noise inside my head. Almost done, take it home. I stack the folded cotton, balanced on my arm, push the door into the night, cool air replacing warm. Machines keep spinning softly behind the closing frame. Quarter turns at 2 a.m., still humming just the same.
I saw you first through the window glass, reflected in a moving train. For a second I forgot to breathe, like time had circled back again. You stood there with your hands in pockets, looking smaller than I knew. Or maybe I just saw you clearer, without the weight of what we grew. My heart didn't race like lightning, it didn't crash against my ribs. It moved like something careful, like it remembered how you lived. There was no storm inside me, no trembling at the knees, just a warmth that felt familiar, like a long-lost melody. We almost said hello again, almost let the silence bend, almost stepped across the years that we folded into ends. You turned slightly toward me, I felt the air begin to spin. We almost said hello again, we almost let it in. I wondered if you felt it too, that gentle pull of then and now. Not a hunger, not a heartbreak, just a quiet wondering how two people once so certain could drift without a fight and still stand here unbroken in the soft electric light. I thought about the little things, the way you held your spoon, how you'd read the final pages first and hum an off-key tune. Those details didn't wound me, didn't make me fall. They simply felt like chapters from a book I once called all. We almost said hello again, almost let our fingers move, almost asked about the years and what they helped improve. I saw your eyes grow warmer, like you felt it settling in. We almost said hello again, we almost let it begin. Perfect, that nearly crossing line, because love doesn't always need to rewrite every time. Sometimes it's just a mirror held steady in the day, showing who we used to be and how we found our way. You look stronger in your stillness, more grounded than before. I saw the quiet in your shoulders, like you'd settled every war. And I stood there with my heartbeat steady as a drum, grateful for the story and who we've both become. We almost said hello again, but something felt complete, not broken, not unfinished, just balanced on our feet. We gave each other softness, a half smile, small and thin. We almost said hello again, and that was everything. one simple moment with nothing left to hide. You nodded like a promise that needed no defense, and I nodded back in kindness without regret or pretense. As you disappeared inside it, I didn't chase the sound, because loving you once deeply was enough to hold my ground. Some stories don't need sequels, some feelings don't demand a second chance at fire when peace is close at hand. We almost said hello again, and that was more than fine. The quiet kind of closure that felt like gentle time. No ache inside my breathing, no wish to start anew, just gratitude for who I was the day I loved you.
I bought a fern on impulse on a Tuesday after work. Didn't know the Latin name, just liked its quiet perk. Set it by the window, watered it too much. Googled why are leaves turning brown. Panicked at the touch. Now there's basil in the kitchen, succulents on the shelf. A cactus with an attitude that mirrors me myself. I check the soil each morning like it's breaking news. Celebrate a tiny sprout like headline-worthy views. I talk to my plants now like they understand. Hang in there, you're doing fine, is something I've planned. I rotate them for sunlight, apologize for drafts. It's cheaper than a therapist and twice as good for laughs. The piano's got a playful swing, a little bounce and grin. Brushes tapping lightly like mischief settling in. The bass line walks in circles, confident and round, like it knows I found my calm in chlorophyll and ground. I used to chase productivity, optimize my day, track my habits, count my steps, measure every way. But nothing humbles ego like a drooping little leaf. You cannot out-hustle nature or negotiate with grief. My neighbor thinks I'm strange now, catching me mid-speech. Don't worry, little rosemary, you're finally in reach. He waters his tomatoes, pretends he doesn't care, but I've seen him whisper when he thinks nobody's there. I talk to my plants now about my week and such. They never interrupt me or advise too much. They just stand there photosynthesizing, patient, green and still, teaching me consistency without a single drill. Grow slow, that's fine, so do I. The fern survived the winter, the cactus bloomed once, the basil bolted awkwardly. But that's life, front to front. Some things thrive in sunlight, some need partial shade. Some days I overwater, some days I underplay. There's wisdom in the watering and tending what you keep, and understanding progress doesn't always leap. It sometimes looks like showing up with picture in your hand, trusting small routines to slowly shape the land. I talk to my plants now, and honestly it's true. The things I say to them are things I need to hear too. Be patient with your growing, don't compare your leaves. You're allowed a season to shed what no one sees. You're doing fine. Keep reaching. They don't applaud my efforts, they don't demand a plan, but every new unfurling feels quietly grand. Turns out I didn't need another grand romance, just dirt beneath my fingernails and a second chance.
You always sit across from me like nothing ever shifts, laughing at the smallest things, pretending we're just this. But something in the way your fingers trace the rim of your glass feels different than the years that have already passed. We said we never complicate the comfort that we build, kept every moment balanced without a hint of guilt. Yet every time your shoulder brushes close to mine, there's a quiet spark running under the line. I know your story's like the back of my hand, every reckless plan you never quite planned. You know the way my voice will fall when I'm unsure of it all. But lately there's a softness in your steady gaze, a lingering pause that gently stays, like we're standing on a fragile edge, neither stepping back nor making a pledge. I don't want fireworks tearing the air, no grand display to prove we care, just the warmth of your need against mine, and that slow unspoken sign. Maybe love doesn't arrive with a shout, maybe it grows while we're figuring out how to hold the silence without fear, how to let someone truly near. Your laughter lands deeper than before, echoing somewhere at my core. It's not the same familiar sound, there's a tenderness newly found. I catch myself watching the curve of your smile, holding my breath just a little while, wondering when exactly we cross from safe and certain to gently lost. If I reach for your hand tonight, will it feel natural, will it feel right, or will the world tilt softly around, changing the shape of every sound? I don't need promises carved in stone, or perfect words carefully shown. Just meet me here in this in-between, where something honest can be seen. Let's not rush what's blooming slow, let it unfold the way we know, with steady rhythm, calm and true, like every quiet talk we grew through. And if tomorrow carries a different name, for what we are and what became, I'll remember this delicate phase where friendship softened into praise. So stay a moment longer than planned, let your fingers rest near my hand, right here where nothing seems to move. It's exactly where our hearts improve. No sudden change, no dramatic sign, just your breath falling close to mine. And in that space so clear and strange is the place where we quietly changed.
Everybody's walking faster, like the pavements on a clock. Shoes tapping out ambition on every single block. Screens glow and moving faces, deadlines in their eyes. The air is thick with hurry, under steel and glass and skies. I used to match the tempo, let it pull me by the sleeve. Every ringing notification felt too loud to leave. Breathing like a contest, running without pause. Measuring my value by invisible applause. But the city keeps on turning, whether I run or stand. So I loosen up my shoulders and unclench my hands. There's a rhythm underneath it, quieter than the sound, a steadier vibration, if you're willing to be found. The city moves, not the way it used to make me. I let the trains rush past without letting them shake me. There's power in the choosing not to join the race. Strength inside the stillness in holding my own pace. The piano drops a low chord, soft against the noise. Brushes on the snare like a whisper in the void. The bass line hums assurance, deep and unafraid, like something rooted firmly, even when it sways. Billboards flash their promises of faster, bigger, more. Elevators climb ambition through every mirrored floor, but none of it can tell me who I need to be if I forget the person walking quietly in me. The city moves, I don't, at least not in that way. I won't trade my breathing for a brighter display. There's room inside my footsteps for something real and slow, a confidence that doesn't need a spotlight's glow. Let them hurry, let them prove you don't have to. I stand at intersections and watch the colors change, red to green to yellow, in predictable exchange. Everyone surges forward like there's something to defend, but I've learned the art of waiting without fearing what might end. There's clarity in choosing not to answer every call, not to fill each silence or scale each shining wall. I'm building something quieter, layer by steady layer, a foundation made of patience and honest self-aware. The city moves, I bend but never break. I move when it feels right, not for appearance sake. There's calm inside my center that no rush can displace, a grounded kind of certainty the skyline can erase. Oh, you're not behind, you're just aligned with your own design. Night settles over windows, reflections in the rain. The noise becomes a distant hum instead of steady strain. And I can't walk these crowded streets without absorbing speed, because I know the difference between a want and need. The city moves, not unless I choose. I don't have to chase the shine or fear what I might lose. There's freedom in the knowing that I can simply be a steady pulse of purpose in the heart of urgency.
Something shifted in the air, not loud enough for anyone yet. Suddenly you were there. The cafe noise kept moving on, spoons against porcelain tone. But in that small suspended beat, I didn't feel alone. It wasn't lightning, it wasn't flame, no cinematic sign, just a subtle rearranging of your rhythm close to mine. You asked if this seat was taken, your voice low, steady, kind. I nodded with a careful smile, unsure what I might find. We spoke of ordinary things, work and weather, passing days. Yet underneath the simple words, a softer current sways. I noticed how you listened fully, not waiting just to speak. Your focus felt intentional, unrushed, sincere, unique. There was a warmth in how you laughed, not sharp, not seeking praise. It settled gently in my chest and lingered in quiet ways. I've known attraction quick and bright, the kind that burns too fast. But this was different, grounded, slow, like something built to last. You didn't try to impress the room or turn the light your way. You stayed within your natural frame and let the moment stay. When silence came, it wasn't strained, it rested soft and wide, like we were testing if this space was safe enough inside. I found myself revealing truths I rarely let unfold, not secrets heavy with regret, but stories rarely told. You didn't interrupt the thread or rush to make it light. You let my words exist as they were, unedited, upright. The piano somewhere near the bar played chords in mellow hue. Each note seemed to underline the ease I felt with you. We didn't speak of future plans or label what we felt, yet something honest had begun before our coffee melt. A brush of fingers, passing change, a glance held half a beat. The world continued as before, but softer at my feet. I walked outside beside you, the afternoon still young, not holding hands, just side by side with sentences unsung. There's courage in the early stage before declarations rise, when hope is quiet and steady toned and lives between the eyes. You said you'd like to see me soon, no pressure in the phrase, just open air around the words, no hidden maze. I've learned not every spark must race toward promise or design. Sometimes the beauty lives within the patient, fragile line. So I let the feeling breathe, didn't grip or guard, allowed it room to form itself without pushing too hard. As we parted at the corner, your smile stayed with me, not as a fantasy to chase, but simple possibility. There's something rare in being met without a need to prove, where presence is enough to hold the smallest shift and move. Maybe this will grow with time or gently fade away, but what began between our words already changed my day. Not with fireworks overhead or dramatic display, but with a steady open warmth that chose to stay.
Laundry basket by the door, sunlight on the tiles, loose change in the pocket from a week of scattered miles. I separate the colors like I've done 100 times. Cotton, denim, ordinary fragments of small climbs. The washer starts its turn, low mechanical refrain, water filling up the drum, soft and unrestrained. There's comfort in the pattern, in cycles set and sure, in knowing that the process will quietly endure. Spin cycle Saturday, nothing grand at stake, just fabric, soap and gravity and gentle give and take. No speeches to deliver, no deadlines in my head, just rhythm in repetition and unmade weekend bed. The piano keeps it simple with open easy chords. Brushes mark a lazy beat like footsteps on the boards. The bass line hums beneath it, warm and steady tone, a grounded reassurance that I'm not alone. I used to call this boring, the slow domestic kind, dreaming of some louder scene to occupy my mind. But now I feel the value in folding what I wear, in smoothing out the creases with patient, quiet care. There's something almost meditative in watching water spin, seeing stains release their hold from where they once had been. Proof that even stubborn marks can loosen if you wait. Not everything requires a drastic shift in state. Spin cycle Saturday keeps the week at bay, washing off the rush of it in a steady sway. There's dignity in tending to details small and plain, in building peace from habits that quietly remain. Slow down, it's alright to live like this. The buzzer sounds its ending, a soft mechanical cue. I lift the lid and feel the warmth of something made anew. Steam rising lightly upward into open air, the scent of simple cleanliness settling everywhere. I hang the shirts by window light, let them breathe and dry, watching breeze move gently under open sky. There's no dramatic milestone, no applause to earn, just shirts aligned on hangers, waiting for their turn. Spin cycle Saturday teaches me to see the worth inside the ordinary that steadies me. Not every satisfaction needs a spotlight's ray. Sometimes it's in the turning of a quiet Saturday. You're doing fine right here. By evening they are folded, stacked in tidy rows, ready for another week of errands, work and roads. And I feel strangely centered in this modest ritual, because peace can start so simply in something habitual.
I reach for the same worn novel at the corner of the shelf. Your fingers brushed against mine and paused without a help. Dust hung softly in the sunlight, cutting through the air. The quiet of the little shop wrapped around us there. You smile like it was nothing, just a simple overlap. But something in the stillness shifted in the gap. The wooden floor beneath our steps carried gentle sound where time is stretched and thin, where stories rest in careful stacks and softer thoughts begin. You asked if I had read this one. Your voice low, calm and clear, not loud enough to draw a glance, yet somehow drawing near. We spoke of lines that stayed with us, of endings bittersweet, of characters who felt like friends we'd one day hope to meet. There was no rush to impress, no clever words on cue, just honest curiosity moving between me and you. The sense of paper aged and warm felt grounding at my side, like memory without the weight or anything to hide. I noticed how you listened without planning what to say. Your focus wasn't wandering or drifting far away. I've known conversations quick, bright sparks that fade too fast, but this unfolded gradually like something built to last. You held the book a little closer, tracing lines in thought, not performing knowledge or claiming what you'd caught. Outside the world kept moving, cars and hurried feet, but here between the shelves the rhythm felt complete. I didn't feel the need to shine or shape a perfect tone. I spoke the way I truly think, unfiltered, fully known. You laughed at something small I said, not exaggerated or loud, just warm enough to settle in without a need for a crowd. We drifted toward the narrow desk where purchases are made, but neither of us seemed to want the moment to fade. You asked if I came here often. I shrugged and said sometimes. The truth was I had searched for spaces where silence gently chimes, not empty, not alone, but spacious in design, where minds can meet in quiet ways without a flashing sign. You wrote your number on the receipt, not bold, not disguised, just steady handwriting, unhurried and precise. No promise wrapped in urgency, no script about what's next, just possibility untangled and unflexed. When I stepped back into the street with paper bag in hand, the afternoon felt altered in ways I hadn't planned, not by spectacle or flame, not by dramatic cue, but by a moment softly held between the shelves with you. And as I walked beneath the trees with sunlight in my view, I realized some stories start without announcing. They do.
Fluorescent lights too bright for night, buzzing over tile. Plastic chairs in faded blue, lined in single file. Machines spinning steady rows, glass doors catching foam. Coins clink down metallic slots, a rhythm of their own. Detergent in the heavy air, warm and slightly sweet. Dryers rumble, patient circles, low mechanical beat. A television mounted high without a single sound. Subtitles for a drama no one gathers round. Quarter turns at 2 a.m. Clothes tumbling slow. Watching fabric twist and fall in steady undertow. No one asks for conversation, no one needs a name. Just strangers in rotation in this late night frame. The piano rests in mellow chords, soft and evenly spaced. Brushes mark a subtle pulse, unhurried, unchased. The bass line hums beneath it, deep inside the floor, like grounding through vibration behind the dryer's roar. A woman folds in practice lines, precise and square and neat. A man in work boots checks his phone and rubs his tired feet. Someone studies quietly on a plastic chair. Highlighter moving slowly through textbook air. Quarter turns at 2 a.m. Keep the thoughts aligned. Watching cycles rinse and spin clears a restless mind. There's something in the waiting, in the low machine refrain that smooths out sharper worries without calling them by name. Let it turn, let it spin. You don't have to rush. I lean against the counter, sip from paper cup. Let the hum surround me till the day loosens up. Not glamorous, not cinematic, just ordinary light. But ordinary feels different in the middle of the night. The dryers slow their rotation, heat fading into warm, a gentle kind of decrescendo after steady storm. I pull the clothes out carefully, steam against my face. There's comfort in the warmth of it in freshly folded space. Quarter turns at 2 a.m., not wasting time at all. Sometimes the smallest pauses are the steadiest of calls. No deadlines in this moment, no spotlight overhead. Just tumbling through the noise inside my head. Almost done. Take it home. I stack the folded cotton balanced on my arm. Push the door into the night, cool air replacing warm. Machines keep spinning softly behind the closing frame. Quarter turns at 2 a.m. Still humming just the same.
I saw you first through the window glass, reflected in a moving train. For a second I forgot to breathe, like time had circled back again. You stood there with your hands in pockets, looking smaller than I knew. Or maybe I just saw you clearer, without the weight of what we grew. My heart didn't race like lightning, it didn't melody. We almost said hello again. Almost let the silence bend. Almost stepped across the years that we folded into ends. You turned slightly toward me, I felt the air begin to spin. We almost said hello again. We almost let it in. I wondered if you felt it too, that gentle pull of then and now. Not a hunger, not a heartbreak, just a quiet wondering how two people once so certain could drift without a fight and still stand here unbroken in the soft electric light. I thought about the little things, the way you held your spoon, how you'd read the final pages first and hum an off-key tune. Those details didn't wound me, they didn't make me fall. They simply felt like chapters from a book I once called all. We almost said hello again. Almost let our fingers move. Almost asked about the years and what they helped improve. I saw your eyes grow warmer, like you felt it settling in. We almost said hello again. We almost let it begin. And maybe that was perfect, but nearly crossing line, because love doesn't always need to rewrite every time. Sometimes it's just a mirror held steady in the day, showing who we used to be and how we found our way. You look stronger in your stillness, more grounded than before. I saw the quiet in your shoulders, like you'd settled every war. And I stood there with my heartbeat steady as a drum, grateful for the story and who we've both become. We almost said hello again. Almost said hello, but something felt complete, not broken, not unfinished, just balanced on our feet. We gave each other softness, a half smile, small and thin. We almost said hello again, and that was everything. The train arrived between us, doors sliding open wide, a brief and simple moment with nothing left to hide. You nodded like a promise that needed no defense, and I nodded back in kindness without regret or pretense. As you disappeared inside it, I didn't chase the sound, because loving you once deeply was enough to hold my ground. Some stories don't need sequels, some feelings don't demand a second chance at fire when peace is close at hand. We almost said hello again, and that was more than fine. A quiet kind of closure that felt like gentle time. No ache inside my breathing, no wish to start anew, just gratitude for who I was the day I loved you.
I bought a fern on impulse on a Tuesday after work. Didn't know the Latin name, just like this quiet perk. Set it by the window, watered it too much. Googled why are leaves turning brown, panicked at the touch. Now there's basil in the kitchen, succulents on the shelf, a cactus with an attitude that mirrors me myself. I check the soil each morning like it's breaking news. Celebrate a tiny sprout like headline-worthy view. I talk to my plants now like they understand. Hang in there, you're doing fine, is something I've planned. I rotate them for sunlight, apologize for drafts. It's cheaper than a therapist and twice as good for laughs. The piano's got a playful swing, a little bounce and grin. Brushes tapping lightly like mischief settling in. The bass line walks in circles, confident and round, like it knows I found my calm in chlorophyll and ground. I used to chase productivity, optimize my day, track my habits, count my steps, measure every way. But nothing humbles ego like a drooping little leaf. You cannot out-hustle nature or negotiate with grief. My neighbor thinks I'm strange now, catching me mid-speech. Don't worry, little Rosemary, you're finally in reach. He waters his tomatoes, pretends he doesn't care, but I've seen him whisper when he thinks nobody's there. I talk to my plants now about my week and such. They never interrupt me or advise too much. They just stand there, photosynthesizing, patient, green and still, teaching me consistency without a single drill. Grow slow, that's fine, so do I. The fern survived the winter, the cactus bloomed once, the basil bolted awkwardly, but that's life front to front. Some things thrive in sunlight, some need partial shade. Some days I overwater, some days I underplay. There's wisdom in the watering, intending what you keep, and understanding progress doesn't always leap. It sometimes looks like showing up with picture in your hand, trusting small routines to slowly shape the land. I talk to my plants now, and honestly it's true. The things I say to them are things I need to hear too. Be patient with your growing, don't compare your leaves. You're allowed a season to shed what no one sees. You're doing fine. Keep reaching. They don't applaud my efforts, they don't demand a plan, but every new unfurling feels quietly grand. Turns out I didn't need another grand romance, just dirt beneath my fingernails and a second chance.
watch you tying your hair this morning, the same small habit from years ago. Your hands move quicker now than mine, but I still see the child I know. You don't need me to pack your days or smooth the corners of your plans. You've grown into your careful grace with steady heart and capable hands. There were nights I lay awake wondering how much I should say, how to guide without control, how to let you find your way. I try to give you room to fall without letting you break it all. Try to hold the door half wide so courage could stand at your side. You carry questions in your eyes bigger than the ones I knew, chasing roads I've never walked, dreaming dreams entirely new. And though I cannot map them out or clear each doubt that comes along, I trust the rhythm in your chest. It's been resilient all along. You don't have to win the race or prove the strength you already own. The quiet way you face the world has always brightly shone. There will be days that test your will, moments sharp and unforeseen, but you were built with patient fire and something beautifully keen. I see it when you speak your mind, not loud but firm and kind. I hear it when you choose your ground, balanced, thoughtful sound. If ever you forget your worth or feel too small to stand, remember how you learned to walk by letting go of my hand. Not because I stepped away, but because you chose to try. Each wobble shaped your steady step, each tear taught you to rise. You are not the sum of praise, nor the weight of passing blame. You are the pulse of your own days, with no one else to claim. When you walk into unknown rooms, hold your shoulders free. There's history in the way you move, a quiet legacy. Not perfection, not design, just love refined by time, carried in the tone you speak, in every hill you climb. And if the path feels steep at times or lonely in the crowd, know that strength can whisper low, it doesn't need to be loud. I won't chase your changing sky or anchor you to mine. I'll stand here steady, proud and still while you redraw your lines. So go and ride and fearless, sink across the years you claim. I'll be the voice that softly says you've always been enough the same. And when you walk your chosen way through joy, through doubt, through change, remember home is not a place, it's the courage in your name.
Boxes stacked against the wall, names written in black ink. Echo in an empty room gives me space to think. Key still cold inside my hand, the door not fully known. Every sound unfamiliar, but somehow still my own. The hallway smells like fresh paint, footsteps softly fade. Someone laughing 2 floors down in a language slightly strange. Streetlights flicker patiently outside the narrow pane. A city I have never walked, whispering my name. First night on a new street, nothing set in stone. Every shadow holds a story I have yet to own. Not afraid of being new or not knowing the way. There's freedom in the blankness of an unarranged day. The piano moves in gentle chords, hands, careful and aware. Brushes sweeping quiet arcs like dust in the evening air. The bass line hums beneath it, low and unconfined. A steady pulse reminding me I'm not leaving me behind. I place a cup on cardboard, sit cross-legged on the floor. No curtains on the windows, yet no pictures by the door. The silence isn't empty, it feels wide and awake, like something waiting patiently for the first small step I'll take. First night on a new street, no history to defend, no past mistakes replaying around another bend. Just breathing in the present, letting nerves unwind. There's courage in beginning without a fixed design. It's alright to not have all the answers right now. I think about the mornings that haven't happened yet. Coffee on this windowsill, sunrise I haven't met. Neighbors I will recognize by rhythm of their door. Conversations in the stairwell I've never heard before. There's beauty in the unknown and maps without a mark, in turning on a single lamp inside a quiet dark. Not everything familiar has to follow through. Sometimes growth is choosing a place that challenges you. First night on a new street, I listen to the rain, soft against the rooftop like it's calling my name. Not warning, not demanding, just steady as it falls. A gentle introduction to these brand new walls. You made it here, that's enough for now. I stretch out on the hardwood with boxes as a frame. The ceiling feels much higher without a past to claim. There's space for different versions of who I might become. Room for quiet confidence in what is yet to come. First night on a new street feels open and alive. Not certain, not completed, but willing to arrive. If tomorrow brings confusion or streets I can't yet read, I'll walk them slowly, learning at exactly the right speed.
I found it tucked between old pages, a sketch of something I once knew. Lines drawn with impatient hope in shades of fearless blue. I almost didn't recognize the handwriting as mine, so certain in its upward reach, so confident in line. Back then the future felt so wide, like doors without a key. I thought desire alone would build a bridge in front of me, but life arrived with gentle weight. Responsibilities grew, not crushing, just demanding space and asking something new. So I folded up that fragile map and placed it out of sight, not as surrender, not as loss, just hidden from the light. Years moved on in steady turns, I learned a deeper art, how to sustain, how to endure, how to protect my heart. Yet stand pulse again, returning somehow. It doesn't rush to shout my name, it doesn't plead or cry. It simply rests beneath my ribs and asks me not to deny. The dream is different than before, less polished, less extreme. It doesn't need a crowded stage or glittering regime. It asks for time carved out each day, for practice without praise, for quiet rooms and honest work in measured faithful ways. I used to crave the outer proof that I was moving fast, but meaning isn't built on speed or shadows that are cast. There's wisdom in a slower climb, in building stone by stone, in choosing growth that roots itself instead of being shown. I trace the outline once again of what I hope to be, and notice how it still aligns with who I've grown to see. The world has changed and so have I, my voice more warm and sure. I no longer chase applause to feel that I endure. Now I create because it's true, because it shapes my air, because there's something in the act that feels like living prayer. The folded paper in my hand is softer at the seam, not worn from failure or regret, but patient with the dream. I smooth it out across the desk, let daylight find its place, and see the line still breathing there with quiet, steady grace. This time I will not hurry it or measure it by fame. I'll build it piece by faithful piece without a borrowed name. If progress comes in subtle waves, I'll meet it without fear. Each small advance enough to prove the calling still sincere. I am not who I was then, but neither is she gone. She lives within my present step, steady and drawn. The dream I folded years ago was never meant to fade. It waited for a fuller heart and hands less unafraid. So I begin without a rush, without dramatic claim, just breath and focus, warm and clear, rewriting its name. Not chasing what I used to be, nor racing toward a claim, but honoring the steady truth that called me just the same. The dream I folded away has never left my side. It rises now in quiet strength, with nothing left to hide.
Boarding pass folded in my hand, coffee going lukewarm slow. Announcements in a distant tone, soft echoes through the glow. Runway lights like scattered stars across the waiting glass. Engines humming somewhere far as heavy shadows pass. Most of the seats are half asleep, heads leaning to the side. Backpacks tucked like quiet guards of what we keep inside. Screens flicker in the dim blue light, charging cables snake. Everyone's suspended between the move we'll make. Gate 27 before dawn, nothing yet begun. No wheels lifted from the ground, no rising with the sun. Just breath inside a holding space where time feels stretched and wide. Anticipation resting without a need to hide. The piano moves in open chords, space like empty air. brushes sweep a subtle beat, almost unaware. The bass line hums beneath it, low and calm and deep, like reassurance traveling through layers of lost sleep. I watch the runway blinking in measured patient lines, thinking of the different roads that shaped these older times. Trips that felt like running, trips that felt like proof, trips that tried to fix a thing that only needed truth. But this one feels much simpler, no drama in the frame, just curiosity unfolding without a need for name. Not leaving something broken, not chasing something bright, just stepping into movement at the edge of night. Gate 27 before dawn feels steady, not extreme, like the quiet page between two chapters of a dream. There's power in the waiting, in not yet taking flight, in knowing change can gather gently in the light. You're ready, even if you don't feel loud about it. Across the aisle, stares out at the wing, tracing fog on window glass in absent-minded ring. A woman scrolls through photos of someone back at home, lives about to separate, yet never fully gone. I close my eyes a moment, let the hum surround, feel the ground beneath my feet, still solid on the ground. Movement hasn't started, but something in me has a widening horizon beyond what came to pass. Gate 27 before dawn, soon they'll call my road. The line will form in quiet and we'll stand up slow, but right now in the almost, before the sky turns pale, I'm grateful for this stillness before the engines sail. Take a breath, you're on your way. The speaker cracks and clears its throat, a final boarding call. I rise without reluctance, not braced against a fall, because departure isn't loss and arrival isn't proof. It's simply forward motion, aligned with deeper truth.
The key turns slow inside the lock, a sound both small and new. The door swung wide to empty walls and light I never knew. Boxes line the wooden floor, marked in careful pen, fragments of a former life waiting to begin again. The air held no familiar scent, no memory in the pain, just space untouched by history, unwritten and untamed. I stepped across the hollow room, footsteps clear and bright, every echo answering back in open afternoon light. There's something brave in empty rooms, in walls that haven't heard your laughter or your late night thoughts, or every careful word. I set my coat along the chair, unfolded simple plans, not grand designs of who I'll be, just daily patient spans. The windows faced a different street, trees bending near the glass, cars moving at a softer pace, letting moments pass. I used to think a house was built from walls already warm, from patterns learned and furniture shaped into familiar form. But standing here with nothing placed, no pictures on the wall, I feel a quiet confidence that I can shape it all. The kitchen counter, cool and bare, waits for cups and plates, for morning light and evening talks, for open, easy states. I open boxes one by one, books stacked by the floor, each spine a thread of who I've been, crossing every door. This isn't just relocation or a postal change, it's choosing where my voice will live in rhythm and in range. I place a lamp beside the couch, test the gentle glow. It settles in without demand, soft and low. The floorboards creak beneath my step, like learning how I move, adapting to my presence here, finding steady groove. I hang a coat by the narrow door, slide shoes beneath the stand, little rituals forming in unclaimed land. The walls no longer feel so wide or distant from my name, they lean in closer, as if to say we're ready for your flame, not blazing wild or fierce, but warm and quietly sure. I lived in kind of brightness, steady and secure. I imagine mornings in this place, coffee near the sink, late nights writing careful lines, with room enough to think. This house will hear my laughter and witness silent tears. It will not judge the days I doubt or measure passing years. It will simply hold the shape of how I choose to be, open in its corners, honest and free. As twilight paints the empty space in amber, soft and slow, I sit against the painted wall and let the stillness grow. Not lonely, not unfinished, but waiting to be claimed. Every room a quiet promise, unlabeled and unnamed. I do not fear the blankness here, or wish for something more. I feel the strength of starting fresh as I close the door, because a home is not the past or what has come before. It's the courage to begin again in rooms with open corners.
Locker doors in muted rose, tile cool beneath my feet. Echo of a distant splash, soft and incomplete. Chlorine in the quiet air, sharp but somehow clean. Steam rising from the water, silver blue and serene. I dip a hand before I dive, feel the temperature. Not cold enough to hesitate, just honest, clear and sure. The surface breaks around my arms, sound dissolves at once. World reduced to breathe and pull and measure. Steady counts, first lane at 6, water wide and still. No scoreboard on the wall, no race against my will, just stroke and breath in sequence, kick and turn in line. A private kind of rhythm where body meets the mind. The piano plays in open tones, clear and lightly spaced. Brushes mimic water drops in gentle brushed embrace. The bass line hums beneath it, low like distant tide. A grounded undertone, carried through each glide underneath the surface. Noise becomes a blur. Conversations fade away into a softened stir. Thoughts that felt insistent lose their sharp demand. They thin between the bubbles and slip right through my hand. I used to swim for speed, counting every lap, chasing numbers on the clock, refusing any gap. But now I move more evenly, not driven by the pace. There's freedom in the absence of something left to chase. First lane at 6, we steady and slow. Each exhale a release of things I let go. Walls approach then disappear. In quiet repetition, there's clarity in movement without competition. Just one more length, not to win, but to feel. Light filters through the ceiling in shifting broken beams, dancing on the tiled floor like scattered silver streams. I turn beneath the surface, push off from the wall, feel the glide extend without force at all. There's comfort in the pattern, in water's firm embrace, and how it holds me evenly. No judgment in its space. It doesn't care for titles or what I did before. It meets me where I entered, nothing less or more. First lane at 6, pool nearly empty still. When I climb out slowly, there's calm in every limb. Towel wrapped around my shoulders, morning just begun. I leave with something lighter before the crowded hours run. That's enough for today. The doors close softly behind me, street air crisp and white, but part of that blue stillness walks quietly inside. First lane at 6, a reset clean and true, carried in the rhythm of everything I do.
We didn't light the candles, we didn't pour the wine. No need for decoration to mark a fragile line. You sat across the table like every night before, except the air between us knew something more. I traced the edge of your sleeve, you watched my steady hands. We spoke about the weather like we had other plans. But underneath the surface, where honesty can hide, there was a quiet knowing we couldn't push aside. The last night we were us, no thunder, no collapse, just two familiar heartbeats, counting careful gaps. No anger in the silence, no bitterness to prove, just love that had grown gentler with nothing left to move. We talked about the early days when everything was new, how we would miss the bus on purpose just to talk it through, how you would pull me closer in the middle of the street like the whole wide world was ours under tired city heat. We laughed at our old arguments, the ones that felt so big now. They seem like stepping stones to who we had to live, becoming through the friction, growing through the strain. Sometimes love refines you even when it cannot remain. I just across and held your face, not clinging, not in fear, just memorizing details that once felt so near. The curve beside your left eye, the softness in your jaw, the version of you I learned without a single flaw. The last night we were us, no breaking plates in two, no promises to rewrite or vows to make anew. Just gratitude unfolding across the kitchen light for everything we learned before this gentle night. You told me I was braver than I believed I could be, that love in me had changed you in ways you'll always see. I told you I was grateful for every steady year, for how you held my shaking and met me without fear. There was no need for rescue, no grand dramatic plea. We both had grown in directions that asked to be set free. And sometimes that's the courage, not to hold too tight, but to loosen with compassion on a quiet night. We wash the cups together like ritual and release. Your shoulder brushed against mine with practice, easy peace. It didn't feel like ending, more like turning a page, where two complete and tender hearts step into a different stage. Breathe, not as something stolen, but something we could leave in the hands of better time, and in the space of kinder truth. We gave each other dignity along with fate in you. When it was time for sleeping, you held me like before, not tighter than you had to, not closer than what's sure. And in that steady heartbeat, I felt no need to fight, because loving you was real even on this last night. A tremor, soft light across the floor. We didn't rush the doorway or hesitate once more. You picked up your small suitcase, I walked you to the hall, and in that simple gesture we honored it all. The last night we were us, will never feel undone. It lives inside my breathing like something gently won. Not every love must linger to prove that it was right. Some stories end in kindness like ours did last night.
You're still thinking about it. You asked to cross the sink. Dishes halfway done, water running thin. I mean the thing you said last week about the class to run, the book you swore you'd finally write before the year is done. I dried my hands on denim, pretending not to hear. You know how Mondays go, I said they'd disappear. You laughed like you had practiced that exact reply before. You've been starting Mondays since 2024. We said we'd start Monday every single time. Gym shoes by the doorway, still in perfect line. Not broken, not defeated, just comfortably delayed. Living in the promise of a plan not yet made. The piano's got a playful lean, almost teasing light. Brushes snap with subtle wit, not heavy, not too tight. The bass line walks with attitude, confident, amused, like it's heard this conversation and knows how it concludes. You don't need a Monday, you said leaning in. Tuesday works just fine, you know, or right now we're within rolled my eyes dramatically like I always do. But something in your tone felt inconveniently true. We've bought the journals, calendars, highlighters in rows, made ambitious spreadsheets with color-coded goals, sworn that this is different, this is finally it. Then ordered takeout quietly and Netflix after it. We said we'd start Monday because it sounds so clean, a fresh official gateway to the discipline routine. But maybe we don't need a trumpet or a drum. Maybe starting softly is how things get done. What if we just begin right here? You grabbed your coat and keys, said walk with me instead. No 10-mile transformation, just around the block, you said. I sighed like it was sacrifice of something grand and rare, but slipped on shoes regardless because you were standing there. Outside the air was simple, no soundtrack, no parade, just footsteps finding rhythm in the choice we made. We didn't map a future or swear to never quit. We just kept moving forward a little bit by bit. We said we'd start Monday, but Wednesday did just fine. No headline, no announcement, no perfectly aligned. Life doesn't need a ceremony to shift into gear. Sometimes it starts in kitchen light, between the plates and here. So tomorrow again. Tomorrow again. You smiled without conditions. Sure, but if not, then we'll start the next small minute like we always can. And suddenly the grand idea felt lighter in its way, not waiting for a Monday to choose another day.
Let the silence settle on the table between my hands. Steam is rising slowly from a porcelain cup. There's a quiet kind of courage in the way I breathe today. Not loud, not shining, just steady enough. I don't need a miracle to pull me to my feet. I don't need applause to know I'm complete. There's a rhythm in my chest like a gentle refrain, telling me softly I can begin again. The light moves easy across the wooden floor, tracing every doubt I carried before. It doesn't rush me, it doesn't demand, it simply rests like a touch on my hand. I remember all the nights I questioned my word, measure my dreams by the weight of the hurt, but something tender is changing inside, a deeper tone I no longer hide. I am not broken, I am becoming. Every small heartbeat keeps humming, not of sorrow, not of fear, but of something honest and clear. Let the day open like pages I've read, familiar but different in what lies ahead. I don't need answers tied up in gold, just the warmth of a story unfolding. There's strength in the way I sit with my flaws, grace in the pause between breaths and applause. Nothing dramatic, nothing extreme, just a woman believing her own quiet dream. The baseline lingers beneath used to chase every echo outside, looking for proof in the turning tide. Now I'm listening close to the sound of my own hope rising up from the ground. It's not a fire that blazes bright, it's more like a steady, faithful light, guiding my steps without a shout, teaching my heart what trust's about. If tomorrow bends in an unexpected way, I know I'll find my balance, I'll stay present and open, steady and true, holding the calm that carries me through. So here at this table, breathing slow, feeling the warmth in the undertow. I lift my eyes, I lift my chin, softly, surely I begin again.
I wake before the city, not because I have to run, just to hear the quiet settle before the day's begun. The kettle hums a low note, like it knows the tune. Steam rising in the kitchen, soft and slow and soon. There's comfort in the simple ritual of the cup, in pouring without thinking and letting shoulders drop. No headlines in the background, no racing through a feed, just light across the counter and breathing what I need. This slow table by the window is where I find my ground, where nothing asks for more of me than what I've already found. The world can wait a moment, it doesn't disappear, while I sit inside the stillness and let my thoughts grow clear. The piano plays in fragments, gentle, unannounced, brushes barely tracing, a rhythm soft and round. The bass line feels like heartbeat, steady and discreet, a reminder I don't have to chase every moving street. I used to check the clock before my eyes were open, counting every second like time was something stolen. But now I let it stretch across the wooden floor. Minutes feel less urgent than they ever did before. This slow table by the window teaches me to stay. Not every morning needs a perfectly planned day. Sometimes it's just about the way the sunlight leans, and how a quiet presence can smooth the sharpest seams. No one's watching, no one's grading, you can breathe. There's a softness in the silence that doesn't feel alone. It feels like space expanding into something fully grown. A place where I can listen without a need to fix, where small unfinished questions don't demand quick tricks. I stir the cup in circles, watching cream unfold, patterns forming briefly before they gently fold. There's beauty in the fleeting, in moments not displayed, in living without staging the choices that are made. This slow table by the window is not about escape. It's where I meet myself without adjusting shape. No louder version needed, no sharper point of view. Outside the traffic gathers, voices start to rise, but I don't feel the pressure behind my waking eyes, because I've built this pocket of calm before the climb, a grounded kind of clarity that isn't bound by time. This slow table by the window will still be here tomorrow, waiting with the same embrace through joy or through mild sorrow. And that is more than plenty, more than I once knew. That peace can start so simply, with nothing left to prove.
Awake before the noise can claim the room, before the clock decides my pace. There's a softness resting on the floor, a quiet kind of grace. I tie my hair and open up the blinds, let air move slow and free. The city hasn't fully found its voice, and neither have I yet. I breathe. There's coffee warming in my hands, porcelain against my skin, steam rising like a whispered plan of where this day might begin. I used to rush into the light as if I'd fall behind, chasing something undefined that never eased my mind. But now I sit and let it land, this gentle golden hour, not asking it to prove itself or hand me sudden power. The piano in the corner hums soft chords I almost know, like memory brushing past my sleeve in undertones below. I think of roads I've taken fast and ones I let unfold, of conversations left mid-air, of stories half retold. Nothing feels like wasted ground, even the turns that bend, they shape the way I hold myself in quiet confidence. There's strength in not reacting first, in letting moments breathe, in choosing calm as my reply instead of restless need. I watch a stranger take her seat across the narrow space. She carries something in her eyes, a question on her face. We do not speak, we simply share the early morning hush, two lives aligned in passing light without a need to rush. The pace of traffic far away keeps time beneath the street, a steady pulse reminding me that I am on my feet. I don't require a grand design to validate this day, just honest work and open tone in what I choose to say. There was a time I doubted this, my worth without a crowd. I thought applause would make it real or make my spirit loud. But meaning doesn't have to shout or blaze across the sky. It lives inside the measured breath between the low and high. I gather thoughts like folded notes and slip them in my bag. Not burdens, just reminders of dreams I choose to have. The door swings wide, the light expands across the polished floor. I stand not smaller than before, but settled at my core. The day is not a race to win or something to defend. It's simply space where I can place the truest parts I send. If plans should shift or fade away, I trust the ground I've grown. My voice is warm, my steps are sure, my balance fully known. I walk outside with lifted chin, no armor left to wear. The world can move in louder waves, I answer with clear air. Every breath life is not what waits ahead, but what is living here. And as the rhythm finds my stride, smooth and unafraid, I carry quiet certainty in every choice I've made. The morning does not promise ease or guarantee a clean. It offers only open space, and I step in the same. No borrowed light, no hurried plea, no echo to outrun, just steady warmth inside my chest where the day begins with me.
The driver barely looks at me as I tap and find a place. Last seat on a midnight bus, city lights across my face. Windows hum with quiet roads, headlights slide like streams. Everyone is half awake, suspended in between. There's something about late travel that loosens up the mind. When conversations fade away and no one asks for time. No introductions needed, no versions to maintain. Just breathing with the rhythm of steady passing lanes. Night bus, last seat, nothing left to prove. No one here expects a thing, no image to improve. Just engines, low vibration under dim fluorescent blue. A quiet moving pocket where I can just be true. The piano leans in gently with wide and open space. Brushes sweep a lazy beat, unhurried in their pace. The bass line hums beneath it, deep and calm and slow, like reassurance traveling where only I can go. I watch reflections overlap on glass and shadowed frame. My face dissolving softly into passing signs and names. Billboards blur to color, street lights melt to lines. Everything feels distant, yet perfectly aligned. I used to fill these moments with scrolling, glowing screens, feeding restless thinking with endless digital scenes. But tonight I let the darkness stay simple and uncut. There's clarity in letting the outside volume drop. Night bus, last seat, carrying the day, letting all the sharpest parts smooth themselves away. No dramatic turning point, no sudden grand release, just miles unfolding quietly into something like a piece. You made it through. That's enough. Nods and drift in sleep. Someone else is whispering into headphones deep. Lives unfolding silently beside me in a row. All of us in transit with places yet to go. There's comfort in the temporary, in seats we do not own, in knowing every stop ahead will set someone alone. Movement doesn't mean escape, It doesn't mean we flee. Sometimes it's just a softer way to sit more honestly. Night bus, last seat, almost at my stop. The engine slows its steady hum as the signal lights pop. I stand without reluctance, step down into the street, carrying that quiet space still echoing beneath. The doors close with a patient sigh, taillights fade from view. The road feels slightly different, cooler, somehow new. And I walk the final blocks without the usual rush, because the ride reminded me to lower every hush.
I walk beneath the rising skyline, neon humming overhead. The evening carries quiet promise in every step I tread. Windows glow like scattered stories layered high above. Every street a moving current pushing gently with. Cars pass by in silver motion, footsteps blend in time. Yet in the middle of this rhythm there is space that's mine. I used to think the city rushed me, pulled me into speed, but tonight it feels expansive, giving room to breathe. The pavement holds the warmth of daylight lingering at my feet. Air is cool against my shoulders, balance clear, complete. I don't need to know the ending of where this path may bend. Freedom lives within the moment, not beyond the end. A saxophone on distant corners spills a mellow tone, threading through the open night, soft but fully grown. It doesn't claim attention loudly, it simply fills the air, like confidence that doesn't boast but knows that it is there. I pause beside a glass reflection, see my outline move, not chasing some imagined road, just standing in my groove. The skyline does not measure me or question what I've done. It lets me blend into its glow, distinct yet part of one. There's beauty in anonymity and being undefined. No label pressed upon my chest, no verdict on my mind. Across the bridge above the river, lights dancing below. Water holding fractured stars in steady undertow. The base of traffic far beneath keeps patient, grounded pace, while I move through open air with lifted, easy grace. This isn't escape or hiding from the life I know. It's claiming breath inside the pulse of everywhere I go. The night does not demand a plan or ask for grand display. It offers only moving light and space along the way. I think of all the versions of who I've been before, each one walking streets like these, searching for something more. Now I'm not searching outward for proof that I belong. The belonging lies within my step, steady and strong. A breeze moves through the avenues, carrying distant sound. Laughter drifting from a bar, warm and unbound. I smile without a reason, no headline to pursue, just simple presence in the now, alive and true. Every window steady too. No spotlight finds my name tonight, no crowd begins to cheer, yet something brighter settles in, a clarity sincere. Under lights that never rest, with skyline wide and far, I walk as both the traveler and my own quiet star.
Neon humming in the window, 12:30 again. Countertop in polished chrome, reflecting tired men. A waitress with a practiced smile refills without a word. Jukebox glowing quietly, unchosen, barely heard. I take the stool beside the glass, order black and plain. Steam rising like a thought I couldn't quite explain. There's comfort in the late shift, in being just a name. No resume, no history, no need to stake a claim. Midnight diner coffee, bitter, strong and slow, holding conversations that nobody will know. No spotlight on the stories, no headlines left to chase, just strangers sharing silence in a borrowed place. The piano leans into the hum, low and understated. Brushes trace a lazy swing, patient and unweighted. The bass line rolls beneath it, deep along the floor, like steady reassurance that we've been here before. A trucker talks in fragments about a distant state. A nurse between two shifts, watching numbers tick too late. Nobody interrupts him, nobody pretends. We let each other finish like long forgotten friends. Midnight diner coffee keeps the edges round, softens sharp reflections without a single sound. There's dignity in staying till the rush has thinned, when the world feels smaller and quieter within. Take your time, no one's counting here. I watch the door swing open, then close without a slam. Another pair of footsteps, another weary man. He orders pie and water, pays in folded bills, the kind of quiet transaction that never overfills. Outside the road is shining from rain that came and went. Traffic lights, impatient loops, blinking their consent. But here the clock is softer, not pushing, not extreme, just marking gentle minutes like steam against a beam. Midnight diner coffee cools inside my cup. I let it sit a little before I finish up, because the taste is honest, unfiltered and sincere, like every low voice story spoken in here. waitress wipes the counter with steady, easy grace. We share a quiet nod, no hurry to erase the hours that we occupied in that late night glow. Midnight diner coffee, letting heavy hours slow.
I kept the cup you always used on the left side of the sink. I don't know why I never moved it. Maybe I needed time to think about the way you'd lean against me, half awake and half a smile. How the choir wrapped around us like it wanted us to stay a while. We were never loud with promises, never wild with grand displays. Just a rhythm in the kitchen, like soft laughter in ordinary days. You'd hum a little out of nowhere while I traced your tired hand. We built a world in subtle glances only we could understand. And loving you was never fireworks, it was steady as a heartbeat drum. It was knowing where your silence ends and where my restless thoughts would run. It was leaning into honesty even when the truth felt sharp. It was finding warmth together in the middle of the dark. Now the chair across from me feels wider than it should, like space has learned to echo where your gentle presence stood. But I don't curse the leaving, I don't break beneath the weight. Some loves are meant to shape you, not necessarily stay. Your name still feels like home, even when you're gone. It settles in my chest like a half-remembered song. Not heavy like a sorrow, not burning like a flame, just tender as a doorway. Every time I say your name, I remember how we argued, soft but sure about our fears. How we tried to hold the future through a blur of hopeful tears. You wanted skies unbroken, I needed roots beneath my feet. Somewhere in that difference we accepted our defeat. But there was no shattered picture, no slammed doors in the rain, just two hands slowly loosening without bitterness or blame. We chose to end with kindness, with gratitude instead of pride. And I swear that kind of ending is a rare and sacred kind. Sometimes I still reach for you when something makes me laugh, like the way the barista smiles, or a song from our old path. And for a second I can feel it, that familiar steady ground. Then I breathe and let it pass me, let the memory be sound. Your name still feels like home, but homes can change their walls, and hearts can learn new languages after love has made them fall. I am not the same as before you, and I don't wanna be. You left your quiet courage living somewhere inside me. If I see you in a crowded room, I won't turn away. I'll meet your eyes with softness for all we couldn't say, because what we had was honest, and honest things don't fade. They settle into who we are in every choice we've made. So I keep the cup a little longer, let the mornings come and go, knowing love can still be beautiful even when we let it go. And somewhere in another life, or maybe just this one, I'll thank you for the way you stayed until our time was done.
I used to rehearse my name like it was a product line. Polished smiles, sharpened facts, every answer timed. 30 seconds in a room to justify my place. Selling who I thought I was with a perfectly trained face. Handshake firm, eye contact, voice pitch just right. Listing all the things I'd done like trophies in a light. Watching nods for validation, scanning for approval, treating every conversation like a silent trial removal. The day I quit the elevator pitch, I felt the tension drop. No more bullet pointed self, no more scripted talk. If you ask me what I do, I might just tell you slow. Not the highlight version, but the things that grow. The piano leans into a groove, more playful than restrained. Brushes snap a lighter swing, unbothered, uncontained. The bass line walks beneath it, confident and loose, like something stepping forward without excuse. I remember standing once between floor 9 and 10, pitching future promises to strangers dressed as friends. And somewhere in that upward glide, I heard myself repeat a version so rehearsed it felt incomplete. So now when someone asks me, what's your 5-year plan? I tell them I'm still learning how to stand. Not climbing every ladder just because it's there. Not shrinking down my story to make it easier to share. The day I quit the elevator pitch, I started telling truth, that I don't have it figured, that I'm still building proof, that sometimes I get scared, that sometimes I misread, and that the best ideas I've had came when I wasn't ahead. You don't have to sell it, you can just be it. There's something disarming in saying I don't know, in letting conversation take its natural flow. Not chasing every contact, not networking my worth, just meeting people plainly as humans on the earth. And strangely things opened, doors without a push, because authenticity doesn't need a rush. It doesn't sparkle louder or dominate the floor. It simply stands unarmored and asks for nothing more. The day I quit the elevator pitch, I kept my voice the same in hallways, bars and boardrooms. No adjusted tone for fame. And what I lost in polish, I gained in breath and space. A life not built on selling, but on showing up in place. That's who I am, take it or leave it. Now when the doors slide open, I step out uncompressed, not optimized for strangers, not performance dress, because a person isn't branding or angels tightly stitched. And I've never felt more solid since I quit the pitch.
Found a notebook in the back of a drawer, edges worn softer than before, pages holding lines I wrote when I believed without a vote. Ink a little faded now, but every word still knows me somehow. Dreams sketched in restless lines, ambitions drawn between the signs. I used to carry them like fire, held together by desire. Then life rearranged the view and other callings pulled me through. It wasn't failure, wasn't fear, just seasons shifting year by year. Responsibilities gently grew and something quiet inside withdrew. But standing here with paper thin between the past and where I've been, I feel a pulse I recognize, not loud but steady in my eyes. The bass of memory hums below, a patient grounding undertow, reminding me of who I was before I learned the word because I don't blame the roads I chose. They shaped the strength I always rose, yet something tender asked for space to breathe again at its own pace. So I sit down without defense, let old intentions make their sense. Not chasing glory, not a race, just meeting that familiar face. I trace the outline of a plan that once felt bigger than I am. Now it feels honest, calm and clear, a calling quietly drawing near. I'm not the girl who wrote these lines, but she still lives between the signs. And maybe she has waited long to hear her echo in a song. There's wisdom now I didn't own, a steadier, more rooted tone, less hunger for applause or flame, more love for craft without a name. I don't need youth to make it real or urgency to seal the deal, just daily steps that feel aligned with what has always moved my mind. If progress comes in gentle waves, I'll meet it with the grace it craves. No sudden leap, no frantic climb, just faithful work one line at a time. The drawer no longer feels like loss or something time has colored across. It feels like soil beneath the ground, where patient seeds are safely found. I close my eyes and see the thread between the paths my feet have tread. Nothing wasted, nothing torn, every chapter reborn. So I pick up the pen again, not to prove or to pretend, but to answer something true that quietly still grew. The world may not have paused for me or waited for this clarity, but I am here, and that is enough to shape the dream from gentle stuff. And as the evening leans in slow, I feel that steady undertow. The drawer I opened wasn't past, it was a promise built to last.
Found it in the bottom drawer, under old receipts and pens. Notebooks filled with younger lines from who I was back then. Pages edged in faded blue, corners slightly torn. Dreams I wrote in careful ink before I learned to mourn. I used to talk about it like it was already mine, like time was wide and endless, like I would always find the courage and the moment, the perfect open door. But years began to layer up and I stopped keeping score. Not too late for this, that's what the silence said when I held those fragile pages close against my chest. Not too late to try again or take a different turn. Some fires don't disappear, they quietly wait to burn. The piano moves in rising chords, gentle but aware. Brushes keep a steady pulse, like breathing in fresh air. The bass line hums beneath it, low and reassuring, like something deep inside of me, still steady and enduring. There were jobs that felt important, bills that had to be paid, responsibilities growing in the choices that I made. I told myself the dream was something meant for youth, a chapter closed politely by practical truth. But reading those old sentences, I saw it wasn't gone, just folded up for safekeeping, waiting to be drawn. The spark inside the margins, the hope between each line, wasn't asking for permission, it was asking for my time. Not too late for this, even if I'm not the same, even if the road ahead looks nothing like the frame I once imagined clearly. In that younger mind, growth isn't losing wonder, it's learning to redefine. Oh, you don't have to be who you were to begin. There's wisdom in the waiting, there's strength inside delay. Sometimes life prepares you in a slower hidden way. Maybe all the detours, all the steady years built a kind of courage stronger than my fears. I place the notebook on the desk where I can see it stand, not as a quiet memory, but as a living plan. The future doesn't shimmer with impossible display. It looks like small consistent steps starting here today. Not too late for this, that truth feels calm and clear. No frantic reinvention, no sudden atmosphere, just willingness to honor what still feels alive, to give that early vision another chance to thrive. You're not behind, you're not behind, you're becoming. I don't need applause for it or headlines in my name, I just need to recognize that longing wasn't vain. Some dreams mature with patience, they don't expire with age, they simply change their shape as we turn another page. Not too late for this, not too far to go. The pace may look different, but it's mine and it will grow. And somewhere in that younger ink, I see a quiet sign. The dream was never leaving, it was waiting for its time.
watched you standing by the doorway, keys resting in your hand. The way you pause before you leave, I understand. There's a quiet in that moment, between the here and there, where childhood lingers softly. In the way you brush your hair, you no longer need me to pack your careful days. You've grown into decisions in your thoughtful, steady ways. Still I see the younger you running through the hall, laughing without measure, not afraid to fall. I try to teach you balance without holding you too tight, to offer steady presence but not eclipse your light. There were nights I questioned if I had said enough, if I had given guidance without making it too rough. You learn by doing, by becoming, by testing every scene, by shaping your own boundaries, by naming every dream. The world will ask for many things, it may demand your speed, but never trade your centered breath for someone else's need. You don't have to shine the loudest to prove that you are strong. Strength can live in softness and still carry you along. There will be rooms that question you and voices that compare, but trust the calm inside your chest, it's always been there. I watch you choose with courage, even when unsure. I've seen you speak with kindness, balanced, warm and pure. Not flawless, not rehearsed, but real in every tone. You stand in your own rhythm, unapologetically your own. If ever doubt should visit and whisper you are small, remember how you learned to walk by rising from each fall. I did not lift you endlessly or clear your path ahead. I stood nearby with open hands and let your steps be led, not by fear of losing or by my careful view, but by the steady pulse that has always been in you. You are not my unfinished dream, nor proof of what I've done. You are a life unfolding, independent as the sun. Carry what feels honest, leave what weighs you down. You don't owe the world a crown, just walk with lifted ground. Let your laughter ring unfiltered, let your silence rest. You don't need permission to choose what suits you best. And when you build your future in places far from mine, know that love does not diminish across the edge of time. I will not hold you back, nor measure what you gain. I'll stand in quiet gratitude for who you've chosen to remain. So when you step into your own light without a borrowed frame, remember home is not a place, it's the courage in your name.
The court is mostly empty now, paint fading on the lines, chain net swaying slightly in leftover daylight signs. Sneakers on the concrete, echo sharp and clean. A single orange spinning where louder games have been. There were crowds here early, a score kept out loud. Arguments about the foul, voices fierce and proud. But evening pulls the volume down, leaves only rim and breeze, and the steady bounce returning like a rhythm I can keep. Last shot after 6, no one left to guard, no defender in my vision, no scoreboard keeping card, just arc against the cooling sky, release against my my palm, a private kind of focus, steady, loose and calm. The piano plays in syncopation, light but firm and sure. Brushes tap a lazy swing, measured and secure. The bass line hums beneath it, deep within my chest, like a grounded reassurance that effort is the test. I take another dribble, feel the grip align, spin the ball on fingertips, tracing muscle memory line. No pressure in the outcome, if it drops or rims. The value lives inside the motion, not in whether it wins. I used to play to prove a point, to silence every doubt, measuring my worth in points, shouting when not foul out. But something shifted over time in how I keep the score. The practice matters more to me than what the crowd is for. Last shot after 6 teaches me to stay, and repetition in the form, and small consistent play. Every miss a lesson, every make a nod, a conversation between me, the concrete and the art. For one more, just one more for the feel of it. Sweat cools along my collar, breath steady in my throat. The sky turns from pale blue to something deeper, remote. Streetlights flicker softly, casting longer lines. Shadows stretch like quiet proof of passing patient time. The chain net rings metallic as the ball slips through. A sound both sharp and honest, not loud but true. No one cheers or notices, no highlight to replay, just satisfaction settling at the end of day. Last shot after 6, I gather up the ball, tuck it under one arm, hear the distant call of traffic moving somewhere beyond the outer fence, carrying a calm resolve and simple confidence. You showed up, that's enough. I walk back past the benches where bags once used to lie. The court now dim behind me, under open sky, not chasing any spotlight, not measuring the wind, just grateful for the quiet that practice builds within.
The engine hums beneath my hands, a low and steady tone. Dashboard lights in muted blue say I am not alone. The road ahead is open wide, no traffic pressing near, just scattered lamps along the line, like markers clear. I didn't leave to run away or silence any fear. I left to feel the quiet stretch of open atmosphere. Windows cracked to let in air, cool against my skin. Music barely above a whisper, letting thought drift in. The city fades behind the curve, buildings shrinking small. In the rearview mirrors glow, I see it all, not as weight or tangled noise, but chapters neatly placed, moments lived and moments lost, all gently faced. The highway keeps moves a measured pace, white lines passing by like brush drums in steady time. Underneath the sky, I loosen both my careful grip on things I cannot steer. Let the present fill the car without a trace of fear. There's something honest in the dark when headlights carve the way. It doesn't ask for performance or brighter display, just direction and intention, focused and aligned. The world reduced to forward motion, clear inside my mind. I think of conversations held and ones I left unsaid. They don't feel sharp or heavy now, just resting in my head. The radio plays something warm, a chord that feels like home. I hum along without a plan, comfortable alone. Street signs flashing quiet rhythm, green against the night, each one offering a choice, left or right. But I don't need to chase a turn or search for something new. This drive itself is enough, clear and true. There's no destination fixed, no clock I must obey, just miles unfolding calmly under silver gray. I pass beneath an overpass, sound shifting for a beat, then open in again, wide and complete. The steering wheel feels steady, balanced in my palm. Every breath a gentle claim of grounded calm. I remember nights when motion felt like restless flight, when driving meant avoiding thoughts I couldn't fight. But tonight is different. There's no edge to smooth, no urgency to outrun or anything to prove. I pull beside a lookout point, city far below, lights scatter like constellations in softened glow. I turn the engine off and sit in lingering hush. The silence does not press on me or rush. It feels expansive, patient, like something meant to be, a pocket of unmeasured time held just for me. When I start the car again and merge back into lane, I carry not escape but clarity regained. Midnight does not swallow or blur what I have known. It sharpens gentle focus on the life I own. And as the road keeps stretching under starless sky, I move in quiet certainty, unhurried as I drive.
Ticket stub between my fingers, edges slightly torn, posters fading in the hall from weekends long outworn, popcorn scent still in the air, salt and butter thin, neon arrows blinking slow, calling no one in. The usher barely looks at me as I pass the door. Only 5 of us tonight, scattered across the floor. Seats that once held crowded nights now rest in quiet red. Whispers bouncing lightly while louder lines were said. Last show in row K, screen already dim, trailers fading into dark, edges soft and slim, projector hung behind the wall, steady, low, discreet, a beam of light cutting through dust and rising heat. The underchords, wide and cinematic. Brushes mark a patient sway, unhurried, automatic. The bass line hums beneath it, deep like distant drums. A grounding undercurrent as the feature finally comes. The opening scene unfolds in colors cool and wide. Faces larger than the room, stories magnified. Laughter from the back row, soft and slightly late. Shared reactions ripple across the narrow space. I used to chase the premieres, crowds and opening night lines around the corner, cameras flashing bright. But there's a different beauty in nearly empty seats, in hearing every dialogue without competing beats. Last show in row K feels honest and contained. No need for spectacle, no pressure to be named. Just light against a darkened room, narrative and frame, and strangers breathing softly in rhythm with the same. Stay till the credits, don't rush the end, let it land. Halfway through I glance around, blue light on quiet faces. A couple leaning close in comfortable small spaces. An older man alone, hands folded in his lap, eyes fixed and steady, the scenes collapse and map. The climax comes without a roar, just a deeper hush. No phones raised in the air, no restless, noisy rush. When credits start to roll, names rising white and tall. Nobody stands too quickly, we let the silence fall.